Is everyone ready? Can you guys please sit down?
Hi.
We want to make it look like
Love it.
We want to thank Zendesk for being our gracious host. And we have here from the product team, and she's going to be doing a short little demo.
And those churros in the back are amazing, especially the ones with the. Check them out.
Close one of them. Yeah, I need these two. Yeah. All right. Hear me? Awesome. So first, you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. We like space, and hopefully you guys. I am a product manager, not in sales. I don't demo, so we'll see how this. I will short guys. Well, I hope I don't bore you guys. So, I know you guys are in IT. Can I get a show of hands? All right. I tailored this for you guys, so that's a. So I know you guys are facing challenges every day in your jobs. Increasingly, we see that customers are expecting the same experience at work that they do at. They're also expecting to get help immediately. And as soon as they have a problem, they want to either be able to or reach someone that for them very, very quickly. They also expect to have the same level of service that they get. I don't know if you guys have ever, but their service is amazing. So customers and employees kind of service in the workplace. On top of that, the business wants you guys to do more with and your business partners are more and more demanding. Want you to start forward and working with that. So Zendesk is a platform. Reach out to the them in this you guys. So we do this through the product self-service, customer, and I'm going to give you guys a quick in those three areas. It's pretty high level. We're not super nitty gritty, but I'll stay around for all the presentations if you guys have questions. Sound good? Cool. So we'll start by how you can empower your to do self-service. So one of the things that we offer here at Zendesk, help. That is what you see here. It's just a word for self-service portal. And if you see the box at the announcement, HR documents, a little bit of information about the IT over here. This is really intended for information they're looking for. So they could go in, for example, find help for your job. There might be a little higher section information that might help in their life. But you might have a lot of stuff here that's fine. So let's just say that. All right. So look, have a you'll see there's a section base and a section. Knowledge base is really curated content by your IT organization. Whereas community is a really nice way to have your customers help each other. So maybe someone knows the answer to someone who's has a about. Let's that going without having to you. So again, got the curated and that's self-service, but honest. Actually getting they need to report an or they've got a bug or they need some hand holding. So we get into support. Actually, I'm going to back because I want to which is both each of you styles and brands and different uses for your what you're reporting. So what I also wanted to show you is how visible our help center really is. I'm going to jump over to you. And out of the box, we actually can select. So if you've got a user base that's really into search, you can search as the primary thing. Or maybe you want to make it more like a catalog. Maybe this is a good view. Or maybe you're just starting out, you have a really small supporting, and you just need some questions. So there's a bunch of templates you can use, but I think you guys are pretty tech savvy. So the more interesting you might be the theme. So if you CSS and JavaScript, HTML will like your own thing. You can do cool things just using our. All right, back to the regularly scheduled demo. So when your customers need to reach out to you, there's a couple ways you might want to do that. A lot of people have email support. Customer emails you, you can help them that. We support them. Might want to have, so correctly, Zendesk has chat on their help center. Or you might just want to support people through the phone. We also have a voice product. But let's just say for the sake of right now that we're going to submit a request through the self-service portal. So this is again customizable. I have it to support a variety of different requests. You don't have to do that. You can just submit a request. For this, existing software. So let's say I need a new password for my VPN. Never done this one-handed. Okay, so you see when I typed in a subject, so goes up. So it looks like I already got my customer. This is what we take action. This is a way of making prevent. But let's just say this user doesn't care and really wants. You can also kind of information depending on what. In this case, asked for the type of work. Which is password reset. I can always set up back-end workflow rules that will route that. And then I'm just going to submit. That's what it looks like on the customer. So I want to give you guys a sense of what support. I'm going to really okay, where I thought. No worries. All right. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And is called views. Views are nothing more than a way to organize your processes and your workflows. And this I'm on recently. Honestly, is probably not helpful in real life. Helpful for this demo. What I'm more likely to look at find open or to me, or maybe even that are waiting from. So we'll open the VPN password. How many times have I seen this issue? I suspect I've done this a lot of times before. So instead of time to do something, I'm going to use something called a macro. Macro is basically a response. I'm going to go in here and search for VPN. It looks like I've got it in here. Let's choose password reset. What's happened here is it's actually inserted the problem. And this isn't saying that we shouldn't go in and customize this a little bit more. It never hurts to be a little bit more specific to the user, but at least you're not spending the time looking at the link to the Help Center article you're going to put to direct them to help. But you're also saving the time repeating those steps. And then we just solve it. First, and then I will solve. And then respond to it. We keep a pretty big focus. That's the most important. But always have some additional fields. We can always create a new. I know that supporting is not what you guys do. Sometimes you need to create a. And what we can do is define a specific process and a different set, maybe some approvals, but some different fields around that process. Or maybe you want to get organizations in your company. Maybe you have a new hire request process that involves HR. We can do that. We can support multiple types of groups working in the same place. Reduce the need for your customers to know where to go. good. Customer support is great. You guys also want to get more proactive and really engage with. So what we have is a feature which is not just a list of your customers, but you customize. So let's say you wanted to have a process where you look at laptop renewals that you need. Let's have a view. So this is a list of your people that new laptops. Alrighty then. And so you can do a couple things with it. You could just drive this off, but you could also create proactive tickets for these customers to know that, or you could send them a proactive email just to let them, have a heads up. Or you might have a wireless outage for one of your sites, and you want to really communicate that maintenance outage to your customer. So you'll have a list of San Francisco that are going to be affected. You can use our MailChimp integration if you want an email to these people, or again, you could proactive ticket if you want. Or maybe solicit some feedback from customers. Maybe you just deployed a project and you want to get some feedback, or I don't know, anything really. We have a SurveyMonkey integration. We have status surveys that come with your tickets, and in beta, we have a new feature called Net that you could also use to see how the rest of your business feels about the IT organization. So again, we have these three: customer self-service, making sure that customers have information without coming to you in the first place. We have customer support, we have customizable workflows and processes to really handhold your customers through what they need. And then we have customer engagement. We really help. Hopefully this gives you a bit of a sense of what Zendesk does. I know I just blew through that. I'm going to say so much.
And just to clarify, it's not Obscura, it's Zendesk. So if you're interested in this product, check it out.
Linde Group guys, we have James and Elliot. Our Hack the Mac are going to give a short little demo. Then I'll have them.
So who was at the hackathon event? Not enough hands. Sad, you missed out. There's gonna be a next one.
All right. And for our IT folks here. So underappreciated. All right. Shall I tell them? Secret. So it's not a secret. We're here today to demonstrate the secret behind Auto Packager, which is the fact that you can pretty easily write your own GUI front end for a command line tool on the back end. Not hard, and we're going to do it in like 20 minutes. You're going to see it, seriously. I guess I'll dig in. So what we're going to do, the command line tool that we picked to build a GUI over the top of is called Say, and it's just the thing that speaks whatever you type into the terminal. It's fun, it's useful if you're playing a prank on somebody, but it's just, the reason we picked it is that it's just dead simple, and we're just going to show you the basics of creating a GUI on top of a command line. And I can't type with the mic, so here you go.
You will do that.
Explain the name here.
That's correct. Paul is Dead is the name of the project.
I'm just going to throw together just a really quick interface. All we need for Sayer is input text and 2 buttons. We really only need 1 button. We're going to put in 2 just to make it more fun. We're going to put in a button that says whatever we put in the input field, and then the other button says it backwards. And that's why we got the name Paul is Dead. Anybody remember? Yes, okay. So I'm going to throw that together right now. I've got some notes here, but you can see every click. You know, I'm not making this up. I'm just doing it right here. Good question.
Yeah.
We are using the default. Not a programmer, and I'm not that familiar with Xcode, so forgive me if I do things. You can call out and say, no, not that one, if you know where I'm going and I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Whatever you do, don't do that. All right. So I'm going to just throw together a really dead simple interface. James is going to do the hard work of actually making it do something. I don't know what the origin actually does. Somebody want to explain that? Pictures up here. Gotta make it pretty, of course. All right. Now the hard part with that we discovered was the constraints. When you resize a window that you've produced with Xcode, the buttons and the fields go all over the place. And me not being a programmer, I was scared. But James reassured me that there's this thing called constraints, and if I read the manual, I would actually figure it out, and I did. So now I'm going to add a couple constraints to keep things in place. Yeah, see, I'm not an expert here. So to stick to the bottom, we want the leading space to, let's see, we want the trailing space to the say button. So I'm going to hold control and command and drag while I drag to the say button. Like so, horizontal spacing, there we go. Okay, and we can test this out. I know it's not going to work because that orange there tells me it's not going to work. But I can see, yeah, nope. Right.
It works.
Thank you. All right, so we need some minimum dimensions on this window too. Otherwise, we'll be able to shrink it small enough that you're not going to be able to use the controls. So I'm going to set it to 220 by 180. Just pull that number out of nowhere. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. So the say in reverse button gets a little bit bigger, but you know, if we had more time, I would tweak that. But that does the gist of it. So I'm going to hand it over to James to code up the logic and actually make these buttons do something.
Maybe. Yeah, so the first thing I'll do is create IB outlet and IB action for these interface elements. So basically, the outlet is going to be, you know, where we're getting the value from. So like say, you know, what, you know, we want it to take the from from this text view or text field, and then assign that to get to the say command. And then as far as the actions, those are basically it's going to say, when I press this button, what method name, or what method should I run, right? Just kind of a quick overview of that. So the first thing I'll do is, since I want this to be the select the view from this menu here, and then if I hold down the Option key and I click on the MB app, I can hold down the Control key, then drag it up. And I'll call this say text view. So not a lot of space here, but we'll deal with it. For the say button, I will also hold down Control, and drag that over here to the file. And we'll make this one, instead of an outlet, this is going to be an action. So I'll select action, and then we'll call this one just say. And for the say and reverse button, okay. So now I can click the assistant edit. We'll save it. And you can see that it actually made some modifications to the source code. So these three things right here were added, the IB outlet and then the two IB action. So the say text view that I declared, and the say IB action, and the say and reverse IB action. Then I'll go into mbappdelegate.m, and I see that I have a few methods here that it also created. So from here, I'm going to create the class that is actually going to handle spinning off the sub process. And basically what happens is the text that we type into this field gets passed as arguments to the say command, and this class will take that. So if I'll just command N or file new and create a new Objective-C class, and we'll call this one sayer. Easy enough. And in our header file, I'm going to create declare the method. So if you're used to programming in like Python, for instance, you don't need to basically declare like what the return type of a function is. You don't do that. Objective-C. If we don't know what the return type is going to be, or we don't really care, we can just void. So we'll just call this method say, and then I'm going to pass. This one needs a parameter passed to it. So we'll pass it a pointer to the something, which is a string. And then I'll just take this text, copy it, go back to mbsayer.m, which is the implementation, and I'll paste it here. And we're actually going to write the code to do that now. So this is actually one of the most important, right? Which is NSTask. And this allows you to run sub-processes with Objective. So, we'll say, initialize that here. And as you can see, typing, I'm not actually typing all this, like it's the static and all that is actually auto-completing some of this stuff for me. So makes things a little easier. So that's our say task object, and then we'll create an object for the array. And we'll just call these args. And for this, I'm going to take a thing which is the string pointer that is passed to it, and we're going to use this method here, separated by string, and we're going to separate them by spaces, because when you run the say command, If you type, say, hello Macbrained people, as long as there are spaces in between those words, it will just say it. So we're basically separating the string that gets passed to this function and creating an array from that. So from here, I'm going to set the launch path for the say task object to user bin say. Then we'll do say task, set arguments. And we'll just set these documents because we declared those over here. And then we're going to launch it.
And James, is it right that if you were making a GUI for another command line tool, this is probably where you would want to put the name of that tool, right? Good, I understand.
Okay, so the next class we'll create is the string reverse class, string reverser, we'll call it. And we'll just leave it there. And again, we'll go back to the header file, which is where you declare like the methods that this is responsible for. And we'll call this one. This is going to take an pointer string as, or actually, sorry, it's a pointer to a string, and it will also take to a string as a parameter. So we'll call this one reverse, and then string, pointer, a string. Copy that, go to the implementation, paste, do our curly braces that everyone loves. And from here, we're going to create an NS mutable string. We'll call it mutable string. Yeah. So our index we're assigning to the length of the string that it's in. Loop here. We'll say character index is greater than 0. We will decrement the character index. Create the range. And you'll notice that I don't type the star before like the range or the NS integer to use a pointer. A simple explanation for that is that you don't, like integers and floating point numbers and all that are around in memory. As objects are a bit more difficult, and the advantage of using a pointer, if you're writing Python code, pointers are, it's still a thing. It's abstracted from you. Basically, the pointer is a lot easier to move around because it's just an address to a space in memory. But integers are easy enough. We'll do live dangerous.
Save early, save often.
Oh. And just move up and down with the arrow keys, like if I don't want to type substring range, substring range. Tab out, and then returning the mutable string, since we don't need to modify it, we'll just return NS string, string with string, mutable string. All right, Command F. Now we can go back to the app delegate implementation here, and we have these stub methods here already. There's the say method, and actually, before we do that, import the two classes created. So we'll do pound import MB, and again, it's a lot of work for you. String reverser, import, say. And we're going to, you might remember that outlet I created. Here I'm going to synthesize the say text instead of worrying about setters and getters, don't even. Yeah. But basically, this allows us to address the say text view and its values from our code, just synthesizing that. So for here, the say method, I will of the MB sayer. We'll call it sayer. Okay, so now we're going to send, we've created our object. We're going, and then basically the say method, we're going to send a message to it. It needs an NS string parameter that gets that method. And for this, we'll do say text string. So we're going to get the string out of that text. That's all we need. And then for the say in reverse, I need this again. So we'll just declare. But we also need to initialize a MB string reverser. Right, and then take here object and say, but we're going to, it's going to be like some nested stuff here. So string reverser, reverse, and then we're going to, again, nest something else, say text view, string. So my calculations are correct. This should work.
What a truth.
Stuff over there. Hopefully this is not just the interface.
Hello, I'm Macintosh. It sure is great to get out of that bag.
There you go.
Tot fo chwo tega ter xieres t dat sadna my age.
There you go. So that was a lot easier than just opening up the terminal and typing, right? But the point is not that, you know, you should make a GUI for the say command. The point is that there's a lot of good terminal tools out there that could benefit from a wider audience, and that wider audience is not going to get there until there's a GUI, you know, for better or worse. I'm thinking of like grepping for time machine logs. You know, Splunk has done a lot in that area, but there's some opportunity for some good stuff there. And you know, Midas from Facebook is a tool, but it just scares me to death because it's all text and it's just a lot, you know. So putting a friendly face on stuff is not to be underestimated, and you can do it. And you know, we did it, so can you. That's it.
Google. Java. Such a fun thing. All right, so it's been a year. Since we kicked this off in a yellow school bus down at Soma Street Eats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was there?
Yeah, see?
Awesome.
Almost everybody. I think we're only missing Ren.
I don't think everyone would fit in the bus.
No, no. It was funny because originally we were like, for our 1 year anniversary, we have to get that bus back. And then we looked at it, we're like, wow, there's no way we can't have it here. Like, we're not gonna be able to fit everybody. That and you could get stabbed, but that's fine. So we decided what we needed to do was to do a year in review and to look at not only what we've done and what we've learned, but where we want to go, right? Here's some of our favorite pictures from our last events. Those of you there might recognize the little shot from the bus. And we got the school bus over there, right? Got our wonderful front desk team. It's always checking you in. Got the New Relic event, that was awesome. The hackathon, Evernote. I mean, we've gone to some really cool places and we've had some really good events. And we're all very thankful to all of you for making that happen.
And most importantly, I think we're really thankful for the actually wanted to take to their venues.
Oh yeah.
Drink, like amazing. Like no one else has this anywhere outside the Bay Area. I've talked to groups, communities out there, and they're like, "Oh, we got to spend 15 grand to go and have it at a venue," and I'm like, "Well, we have a list 7 months of people who want to give us food, drink, like doesn't happen," which is, accounts for you guys wanting to really, collaborate, as well as just everyone in the community that's willing to take the extra mile to sell it in their organizations and really make it happen. Thanks, guys. Like a lot of you, we've been there, and we appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. Yeah, all right, so let's go over our topics so we stay on them. All right, so and just to be clear, once we go through all of these, we're gonna run questions to the audience. We're recording all of this, and then we're gonna put together a Survey Monkey, and we're gonna send it out to the mailing list as well, based on kind of our feedback that we heard from this meeting, and then maybe people that didn't show up because they were busy or for whatever reason. So we get the kind of the feedback from the whole team, right? So I mean, the first one is, what are we doing right? Like, what drives you to want to come to these events? What's the content? Is it just to go to cool places and eat their food? I mean, we've been to some pretty cool places. Is it just free beer? Yeah.
That's what you thought.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. People. The different topics. Yeah.
I'll run around.
All right, you run around, you raise your hand.
Something.
It's just reassuring to me that I'm not the only one seeing this, and that other people who are also seeing this problem and maybe have even solved the problem. It's just, it feels good, and it helps me be.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and I think that's almost what we were talking about in the yellow bus a year ago. It was like an AA meeting. You're not alone. It's okay.
We all drink.
There's support out here for you.
We all have problems. Why do we have to experience the problems over and over and over again, right? Let someone solve the problem. Talk. Let's not have that problem again, right? Let's share, right? Really make it a bigger community thing.
Idea sharing.
Or stealing.
Well,
Not stealing.
But in a cooperative way.
Yeah. We already did announcements, right? No. We'll talk about it. Okay.
Also, just knowing that there's not just one way to solve a problem. There's these things, and seeing different solve problems with different tools, and there's lots of different solutions out there for problems that we all in common ways. Like as others have said, we're not alone trying to solve the same issues, but there's different ways. It's nice to see ways, depending on the size of your organization, your budget, and what tools and expertise you have. There's a solution for everybody out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
About those.
Yeah, the different perspectives is always helpful.
We don't all have the same, right? Different, unique, right? We have management says you need to use this and that. So solving problems with different help, right? Same. It'd be boring, right? Anything else?
All right. Well, if you wanted to chat back, like I said, we're going to be sending out a survey, and we're going to bring that back in and try to improve the events moving forward. Yeah, and please respond to the survey.
We can see, I think.
Yeah, what can we improve on? What have we done right? What can we improve on?
No, honest feedback.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. No, we really want your feedback. Because, we're assuming everything's all, everyone's here, everyone shows up, and it's awesome, and really appreciate that. But, what can we actually improve on? What you guys want to see? What are things that maybe we're not doing enough of? Please be open. You're still invited to the after party. Okay? I see a lot of hands who just want to come up.
I know. Like, I think sometimes the communication on event is sometimes it's on Facebook, sometimes it's direct email, and sometimes I know that people that want to don't know about it, don't sign up in time, get in the door. That's how.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
One note on that though, just out of curiosity, who is heavy Twitter on Mac? Facebook, email, standard mail. That's good.
Just a little bit to reiterate. I've been a Mac here, and this like weeks ago. This is my second. I know I would have found out about it sooner if I was on Facebook. But yeah, I found out about it on. But that's not the most to get somebody to classically, probably not.
We're on a bulletin board service. There's only 2,400 baud modems. And IRC is next. Anything else? Anyone who work at Eventbrite? Okay. We need to solve a problem with a lot of stuff.
What I think that we're going to do in the future, though, is make it private. So you have to have the actual URL to register, and it's not going to be kind of in their directory. So it's kind of a catch-22. We want to be able to have it open to everyone, but to prevent that problem, we're going to try it out and get your guys' feedback and see what you think.
Yeah, and as long as you're connected with channels that we have, we're trying to be better and more consistent about making sure we touch all of them so that everyone gets information on things. But if you haven't heard anything from us, go to our website, please. We usually have it somewhere. But we're definitely looking to improve and about.
Yeah, and recently we done an actual mailing list. So if you want to be a part of that mailing list, just to make sure to register on macbrained.org. Do you have something? Yeah, and for the people on the stream that can't hear, it's more about using the website. We have forums on there, and we haven't seen a lot of activity on it. We're kind of trying to get feedback on, where do you guys want us to be? Do you want us to have, collaboration on Facebook or on Twitter? Do you don't touch on that?
So my question is there a mail relay or feed?
We can do that.
Just simply because a lot of us may not necessarily just go hit
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Do some.
Great feedback.
Yeah, let's definitely leverage that survey. Because if you guys say, here, this is what I prefer. This is the channel that I like. We want to make sure we capture those channels and we get access to everybody, right? So we're just assumptions and what's easy and what we use. Just we're only a few of us. So, but yeah, later on, if you guys want to get involved and help out, and you have better tips and tools for templates, things that you've used in the past that are better, heck, bring it, because we want to improve this for everybody. So it's not just it's about making it easy and then making it great.
Yeah, and also, so the platform that we're doing on the website is WordPress. So we're all in IT. If you guys know some really good WordPress tools,
Survey.
So, what do you want us to do in the future? What do you want to see from?
I don't sing or dance.
Kitsy wants us to start a Chicago chapter. He might be a little bit biased.
So actually, not the first time I've heard that. I know some guys on the stream actually just to come to or participate in the stream. Coming up with a way. I know we have to make it first, but coming up with a way to get leaders from different regions and have them kind of do their own thing over there, and maybe we can help participate in the streams that way. I think that would help.
Yeah, we've talked about who's going to JNUC. So that's our little our to see communities are out there who wants to get involved and be part of this organization as well, and see if we can get better communication across not only North America, but we've got a lot of friends in Australia that are always chiming in and jumping in on our streams. So why not extend the community? Why not get people to just in one region to watch and not be able to say something and get feedback? So we're working on that and we're trying to build that out. And if you guys have some suggestions, please bring it to us. We really appreciate it.
contact@macbrained.org. Send us an email and tell us what you do. And
Star at Macbrained. That works.
Bryson is saying everyone should raise
all right, Bryson wants to see who's going to the JNUC again. He's getting a little too excited. Oh, they're all over on this side.
It's too expensive.
Who would want to see us do an event at the? Would you guys would go? Tell all your friends. No.
It's gonna be a little bit worse. Yeah, guaranteed.
Feedback. Yes.
I'd like to see a bigger emphasis on dessert.
Dessert.
Emphasis on dessert.
Can you specify what's your favorite dessert?
Chocolate, anything. I mean,
Chocolate.
This is actually the first that any host provided in a very long time, and I want to really thank Zendesk for this. But chocolate.
It is our birthday, so.
There you go. Need a cake.
Good call. We'll make sure we dessert first.
I thought the hackathon was really good, but having a local hackathon where we can actually have a couple less broad subject areas where we want to focus on, and then have teams break out like here, start working together like a live thing. Yeah, that'd be. Once you make those connections, maybe they can work offline too whenever the deadline.
Another thing that we've been back and forth, and actually from JAMF came up with it too, is the concept of having just work labs, like maybe once a month, one in San Francisco, one in the South, where you just and we host it somewhere. South Bay would probably most likely be at the office. Just come in, work side by side, do ideas. No real format or anything. Just help and idea swap.
Who would be down for that? Awesome. Who would be down for SF? Cool.
All right, where's come to the stage?
And what about South Bay?
Okay. So everybody, he's going to help organize that aspect of Macbrained. So yeah, if it's not good enough, if you need more, that's the guy.
As soon as he can put the churro down. Evidently, he has an addiction, folks. We can't help him.
I think there's some left. Now's the time to get it.
There was some left.
Anyone else? So announcements. So a couple of our hosts, we're so lucky to have awesome hosts and some great venues, but we really have to comply with, their security requirements, and that usually means that you have to register or you don't get in. And we apologize that we weren't able to really communicate that for our hackathon event, and I know a lot of you kind of missed out on that, and we apologize for that. So going forward, we're kind of implementing a new rule that you have to register to get in. We'll try our best on a case-by-case basis, but that's the new rule.
And then also our standard is Eventbrite.
Yes.
So even if we may have an event on Facebook, registering there, it's not the same. Always do Eventbrite first. Facebook is more for the social aspect of things. So just want to let you guys know.
Mention churros.
They're really good.
Dad. Go talk to Mom. Okay. Oh yeah. So this one's an interesting one. And really, it's interesting because the whole concept of how this all really got kicked off was the idea of sharing work, right? The idea of sharing each other's code, putting it out on GitHub, being collaborative with the community. But at least a couple times actually caused some problems, because when we're doing that, we need to make sure that we're giving credit where credit's due. Right? It's perfectly okay to take code off GitHub and to improve upon it, but you gotta at least somewhere in the comments say this part brought to you by, right? If somebody worked really hard for that piece, and then when you present it as your own, sometimes you get upset, contact us, and then we're like, oh, yeah, you're right. And there's nothing we can do about it. So, and just making sure, we're all about sharing code. Make sure you give credit where credit's due, right? Worked hard to figure that out. You didn't have to. That's exactly why we started this whole thing in the beginning, was somebody else did it, you didn't have to. But make sure that you credit, right? And it doesn't matter if it's not employers, and when you submit it to your job or whatever, you don't put in there. But if you can't give credits, present it as your own.
Work for sure. Don't say you did it all. That's what I always did, and it's amazing. It really brings your career up. But if you're in the community setting and you're sharing it on the stage, just say, hey, shout out so and so, inspiration, whatever it is. We all appreciate it, being in those shoes and having stuff and seeing it.
So our next event at Rocket Science, I don't know why I put Rocket Science Consulting. We're really excited to have it there. We are still working out a date, so that will come out soon. And if we need speakers and we need topics, so if you want to speak, let us know. A topic that you think would be really awesome, give it to us and we'll find a speaker for you.
The speaking thing, please, if you got an idea, if you got something that you've been working on and you want to share, please reach out. Honestly, we don't want to have to work hard to find speakers. We want you guys to throw so much at us that we have to pick and choose, right? And we'll do it out of a
Cool.
Definitely. Topics, always awesome.
I'll speak to this. Yeah. Our friends at MacTech also, not so much for you guys more on the enterprise, but there's gonna be a boot camp. I'll be speaking at that. Yeah. So if you want to see us speak, please event. Link will be available. Sending it through social media as well. But MacTech conference, who's been to one of those? That one's not free. I think there may be an early bird discount. We may be able to get a discount for you guys. But that one's good. That one's I think one of my favorite conferences. Pretty awesome. Very technical, more on our lines. The boot camps are, because the boot camps are more consulting based. But yeah, if you guys are free and are interested, feel free to ask me about it or sign up. And if you didn't know where we're at, this is macbrained.org. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. And thanks for coming out. So we're going to, after this, we're going to be heading to McKellar Bar, right past the zombies in the area. There's a really cool place with good beer. You just got to avoid them and, things. But we'll be there. So hopefully you all make it.
And then we also have Erin from Zendesk. She stuck around and heard our boring talks. Just kidding. So she's here if you have any questions. And then we have our Linde Group guys. You guys are going to stick around, right? Awesome. So, yeah.
So, find them, ask any questions you guys have. We'll send out an email. We're going to be more diligent about that. So you feel free to respond. We'll send the contact information for Zendesk. So for the Linde guys, in case you guys want to go more.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.